Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have something very exciting for you today. I get to introduce to you someone very special to me. You may remember her. This is Hannah, my best friend. She was the moderator on my lives before, so if you ever spoke with Hannah, here is the face to the name.
Hi, here I am.
She actually helped me out so much with my YouTube channel this year. She helped me with my lives being a moderator. She was writing up all of my patterns to make them super beautiful and pretty because she does have a background in writing, so she actually made my patterns look gorgeous. I miss her so much for that. And she also helped me kickstart my kit boxes by designing them, putting them together, getting them all good to go. And so she really helped me so much this year, 2022. That I have to pay it forward. Hannah has done something incredible. I'm super excited about it. She has written a book. Oh my gosh. Not only has she written it, she has illustrated it. All of the pictures she has artistically drawn out in color. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. The whole entire book looks like it could be taken apart and put on the wall in frames because it's just absolutely so stunning and beautiful. She's so gifted, and I just want to boast about her so much, but I'm going to go ahead and stop boasting so much, and we're going to talk to Hannah about this incredible book that she's written and why. So, oh my gosh. Okay, so tell me, why a children's book? Why of all things did you write a children's book?
Well, there's a couple reasons. I don't know. I'm kind of goofy and I'm kind of silly. You know, everybody's got like multiple sides to themselves, and drawing cartoons is something that I did growing up all the time. I used to do cartoons about my dogs and my cats, and just like to make people laugh and draw silly pictures and stuff. And during COVID, actually, your kids were stuck at home and were really bored, and I wanted to do something with that. I thought about other kids and what they might be going through.
Before we get to what stemmed the idea, because yeah, COVID stemmed the idea, that's what you were just saying, but what's the book even about?
So it's about being bored. Well, the title of the book is Possum Opossum, The Very Boring Day. And it really just has to do with what do you do when you're out of things to do? How do you turn a boring day or a situation, a less than ideal situation, into something that's fun, that you can interact with your friends and your family and seek things in your ordinary life that turn them into something that's interesting and fun.
I mean, I personally didn't have any issues with being quarantined because I just took the opportunity to crochet the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I was like, this is great. You know, like I just have a reason to stay home the whole time.
But yeah, because you're an introvert.
Yes, that's, I mean, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So extroverts, you're like, I want to go out and do stuff. I want to do, but you couldn't, you know, and especially like kids, whenever they're used to interacting with their friends, or, you know, I think I remember like especially Cadence asking if friends could come over and being told no. And so like, you know, like, yeah.
Yeah, just having to deal with when you don't want to be home, or when you are someone that needs that extra stimulation and you're not getting it, for sure. And so you take the book, A Very Boring Day. It stemmed off of COVID, being stuck at home and having to figure it out. But why possums? Why did you choose to represent this with possums?
Because they're
not
them.
cute and cuddly.
Yes, they are.
What? They're like considered rodents. But
no, they're not. They're marsupials, and it says so in my book, Possum Opossum, Very Boring Day.
All right, go into this. Okay, tell me more.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons why. So before I took my break to actually work on creative endeavors that resulted in this book, and I am currently now in this position as well, I worked for animal services for the city. So I dealt with a lot of wildlife, dealt with a lot of educating the public on just what our wildlife goes through, and, you know, the fact that they're not dangerous. A lot of them are not icky, you know, and so opossums are very misunderstood in our cities and in our neighborhoods, and a lot of people don't know anything about them. Well, the book's subject doesn't really get into what possums and opossums are, but I do have an informative page that talks about it, and I just
show us the informative page.
So we've got opossum and possum, and so it also kind of has to do with along with being at home and being bored, it also has to do with pessimism and optimism. So possum and opossum, they're very similar names, and so it's like an optimist and then a pessimist, opossum and a possum. And so I just felt like it worked, and it was a way for me to introduce characters that we haven't really seen in picture books before. But yeah, so this is my educational page where we talk about what a possum is, which we don't have in the United States, and opossums, which we do have in the United States. A lot of Southern people call opossums possums. Okay. Including myself. But it's short for opossum.
I didn't know that there were two different kinds. I honestly thought there was just the one.
Yep.
So that is really neat. And fascinating tip here, you drew these.
I did.
This is all you. So not only are you amazing at cartoons, but you're also amazing at realism.
Yeah.
And that I think is super amazing because it's a kid's book that is also educational, and they get a peek of what it looks like in real life. So if they were to see it in the wild, they'd be like, that's what that is. I know what that is. And I think that's really, really cool. Very neat.
Really a way for me to kind of combine all of my loves, because though I work with animals and work with educating the public about animals, I have a background in writing and art. I went to several colleges for different forms of literature and for traditional arts, and so this was kind of an ideal book, or at least an ideal starting book, to start combining all those things about myself and produce something that I was proud of, and really that I would have wanted to read as a kid. That's kind of where it all comes from, and that's kind of like you with your crocheting, is like, what do I want to do with the thing that I love? How do I turn this into something that other people can enjoy? And and how can you
in a way that is showing off your passion and sharing your passion. Can you share a little bit more? Can you actually share some of your book with us?
Sure. Let's see. Possum and opossum are roommates, and it has started to rain outside, and so they actually were going to go for a walk, but it didn't work out because it started raining, so they started exercising, and now they're hungry. So at this point in the book, it reads, they were both starving, so they went to go eat. But Opossum opened the fridge and said, geez, only leftover worms, canned kiwis, or cheese. Sure looks like we're ordering pizza to me. I think we've all been there. Right here. But Possum laughed and said, now it's a mission. We'll use what we have. It's Mystery Kitchen. They dumped the old worms. The kiwis went gloop. The whole block of cheese dropped in sploosh-a-kaploop.
I love the words.
And then the last one that I'll show you. Then mix it all up. It's cheese kiwi worm soup. So that was actually inspired after a soup that I would make.
So Hannah has this recipe that my kids love, or my daughter loves, and she calls it...
It's garbage soup.
Which doesn't sound appealing at all, but what it is...
it's just leftovers in the fridge, which is really what these guys are doing. Because all they've got is a couple ingredients, and you turn it into... If anybody's ever watched, like, Chopped before...
Right.
Is it Chopped? Or not Chopped? Or is it Chopped, where they open the basket and it's got the stuff in it? Oh.
There's that. There's also the other Master Chef. And
they're like presented with ingredients. They have to turn it into something. So I was like, we're all stuck here. Let's make something out of what's in the fridge. So
right. I love how it's relatable too. That's really, really funny. No, and another thing that I really liked about your book was that the pessimist and the optimist. There's one who's like, I'm bored, there's nothing to do. And I think we all know these people. It's my son, right? Yeah. Right now, he's the one that doesn't want to be creative and imaginative and like, well, we could do this, we could do that. So honestly, I think my son would be the opossum.
Yeah.
The opossum. And then the possum is the optimist who's like, well, why don't we do this? And well, why don't we do that? And like just coming up with all these fun ideas. And if anything, this gives a lot of really fun ideas in general. Like if somebody's just not naturally sure what to do, like maybe it's a grandparent that has their grandkids over and the grandkid is like, I'm bored. And you're like, well, I don't know what to do with you. This book actually has quite a few ideas that they come up with together on things that you could do for fun, which is great. It's just sometimes you need a little inspiration. So
yeah, I remember those rainy days. It's not quite the same, I think, for kids nowadays because everybody has a smartphone. But I remember you know, when the power would go out, because I grew up in Tennessee, so when the power went out, it would be dark and rainy, and we would light candles, and then we would play board games, you know,
Yeah.
or play hide and seek in the dark, and that was always really fun. So I guess that was also kind of a callback to that of like, you know, what are we gonna do? Like, it's just boring, you know.
Right. Okay, so before we let you go, is there any future books? Do you have any ideas for things that you might want to create in the future? Or is this kind of a one and done kind of deal?
No
where's
way.
the world of Hannah going?
Oh my gosh, I have so many ideas. I'm working on a couple other books right now, but this one in particular is really, really special. I don't foresee myself doing another book the same way that I did this one, which makes it really stand out and significant as my first book, because I did this one traditionally. So I used real watercolors, real paper, real pencils to do all the illustrations for this, and I have since transitioned into a digital format that replicates the original look, but it's not the same. So this is like a one-time edition probably in my life where I will do the entire book traditionally, and it was really difficult. But for the future, I have so many plans. I'm thinking about doing a sequel for this one just because I know that the kids that have read it have really enjoyed Possum Opossum and really wanted to like learn more about them. But then I want to do a lot of educational stuff. I really want to get into the nitty-gritty of like what's it like with animals in our community. You know, what are some ways that I can educate people in a way that is fun and bright and colorful and that kids enjoy. So yeah, there's more on the way.
So this is really Hannah's Kickstart book. It's her first ever published book, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And
My first one.
My way of just lifting her up, supporting her, especially when she supported me in my journey this year and helping me to really get a lot of stuff off the ground here with my own YouTube channel. I'm really paying it forward to her and helping to lift her up with her dream. And so I'm putting her book for sale on my website. So that way it's easily accessible. Honestly, it's a work of art. Like she said, she used watercolors, she used colored pencils. You can see it in the images and it's just absolutely stunning. I think that any kid would really enjoy this book. It's whimsical, it's funny, and it's creative. It really is. And so if you are interested at all in getting books for your kids this Christmas, I think this would be amazing. And I'm going to sweeten the deal for you guys, because on top of just being grateful for you helping me to support my best friend right now and help her to kick off her career and being a writer and artist, which is so beautiful, I am going to give everyone who buys a book from my website a coupon code for 25% off your entire purchase that is going to be good through the end of this year. So the end of 2022, you can use this coupon code and just get 25% off everything on my website. So that is my way of paying it forward. Big thank you to you, supporting you, and just like, this is beautiful. Plus it'll make an amazing Christmas gift. It really will. It'll be a lot of fun to look at and read this Christmas. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for helping us out. Again, my website, www.crochetvithtiffany.com. I'll put a link in the description section below for you to shoot straight over to the website where you can buy the book. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you with my next video.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.